So what are these? These are questions. Questions you asked my inbox. And you wanted my answer, and you're going to get it. So here we go. Question 1. You're going to do a book review tonight, but before you do, please inform us how you pick out the books that you read. It's simple. It is based on the front cover. And if it shows passion, if it shows that love without end amen, as I like to call it, then I'm going to read the book. That's just the way it is. And of course, I read the back cover a little bit and then pick it out. How do you choose a picture to color from one of your books to do artwork? What a great question. I'm actually doing one right now that I'm not too fond of, but I got this book on eBay that was like $3, and at the time it worked. It was during Valentine's Day, and I thought, oh, it's all about love, and that's going to be great. Don't know what I was thinking. It was that hopeless romantic in me. Anyway, I'm going to try and tackle that book plus a new book. I tried tackling a new book after I finished this book today, but if y'all know anything about me, once I finish a good book, and I haven't done the book review, and I've marked the book up to no end, I don't want to start a new book until I do the book review. That's how focused I am. And I really want to bring that book to life, and I want to bring that book so much to life that you want to go out and pick this book up and read it. No matter how old the book is, my thing is to make you want to go pick this book out. By the way, I had a question in the inbox that's not on there, so this is going to be a bonus question. They said, how come you don't wear any different tank tops? Like, are you getting too big for those tank tops? Hence, old tank top, same me. And I just add a little blue because it's red, white, and blue to be patriotic. So I guess I'm not all that big after all. Just thought I'd share that back with you. Number 3, what is your favorite part of spring? Oh, well, what is my favorite part of a normal spring? Let's go there. Normal spring, I love getting out and planting my flowers, mowing my yard, and not thinking about wearing a mask, and that everything would be okay. Least favorite part of a normal spring, I am not a big fan of those big thunderclappers for a lot of reasons. They cause so much turmoil and destruction sometimes if you have a tornado-like weather, and it's just not my favorite part of spring. Plus allergies, that's not a favorite part either, no matter if it's now or then. But what is my favorite part of spring? I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to plant my morning glories, and I haven't done it yet. I'm going to get out there and mow the yard with the push mower, which I look forward to doing that, actually, this weekend. Not this weekend, I work this weekend. Next weekend. My weekends and days are all running together as part of this pandemic thing. Okay. What is one thing that has made you a better person during the quarantine? I love that question. There's several things I think that has made me a better person during this quarantine. The very first thing is I've looked out for my friends who are practically family, made sure that they have books to read, not just novels, but magazines, and went the extra mile knowing that the library was going to close, so asked my work mom, Deb, hey, what kind of books do you read? Went out on purpose and got her historical romances, and by meaning not just at Goodwill before they closed, I ordered some off of eBay as well, so she would be well stocked. Made sure that my friend Wanda, who's an elderly lady as well, former co-worker, now retired, she had plenty of books that I have done these book reviews, and then I pass them on to her as well. Make sure there's a little, can of soup, and I bake now, so I do lots of goodies and make sure they have either muffins, cookies, or brownies to go with their books, and I make sure that they have little treats that they don't have to go out if they don't have to. And that's something I hope that other people are doing, is looking after people who matter most to them and making sure that they don't have to go, oh man, why didn't I do that? Because it only takes a moment to make a person know how much they mean to you. And I really hope that you don't have to talk to a headstone. You don't have to talk to a tombstone and go, I wish I would have done that. because tombstones and gravestones don't talk back, and that's not the best time to talk to anyone. I also want to say we got these stimulus checks. I did. My grandpa's still waiting on his stimulus check. And Mr. Pritzker, if you watch this, I hope that you check into why my grandpa, a World War II veteran, has not got his stimulus check. And that would be greatly appreciated. But anyway, myself, what did I do with my stimulus check? I'm going to tell you right now. I got, if you were like the head of household or whatever, you got $1,200. I did not claim anybody in this household. I just claimed myself, if you will. I guess that's what I do. I don't know. I don't do my taxes, but I got $1,200. So what did I do with it? I'm going to tell you. $500 went to my Christmas savings that I started this year, thanks to my ending my credit card counseling, and I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. $500 went to my personal savings, and you know what that puts me on the road for? Hopefully adoption. And I have to say that really quietly because it upsets a lot of people. And I don't know why. It's like they all don't want me to give up hope. And I'm like, I'm not giving up hope, but I'm being realistic at this point. You know, we all want me to walk down the aisle to the man, get married to the man, and have kids. But at age 40, going to be 43, we have to be realistic. Even if I was to have kids, it's probably not going to be biological because of my polycystic. I have on the verge of high blood pressure, on the verge of diabetes. There's so many things that, you know, it's like pre-existing asthma, you know, you don't want to push the limit. You know, you got to be realistic. So if I get to adopt, I would be totally happy with that and blessed as well. Oh, that carries over to the heavy question of the night. You are a hopeless romantic. It shows through your book reviews. It shows through your past videos. If you could put your knowledge of what you've read in books to your life, how would that change your life? Greatly. I think if I could be the author of my own life and make my own book, it would be greatly impacted. Because you could go back and, in hindsight, go, okay, maybe I didn't do things, you know, like that Willie Nelson song that he wrote. Maybe I didn't love you. You were always on my mind. Anyway, you know, you can see things hindsight that you wish you would have done, wish you would have said. My first ex once told me that I had a very romantic heart and it could only lead me to very romantic expectations. And for him to be 8 years younger than me, that was quite, you know, detailed for him to get into that. But probably two. True, whatever. You know, I can read these books and see these scenarios, how it works out so perfectly for these people in these books, and be so jealous of them. It probably will never happen for me. I know there's always hope out there, right, that it will. I'm trying to be a better person as I get older. Maybe it's too little too late. But if I was to write the perfect scenario for myself, it would involve forgiveness. It would involve being not childish, not jumping to conclusions, not pointing fingers, placing blame, but being able to sit down and go in a calm voice as well. Not only myself, but him. And being able to say, okay, this is what we did wrong. And maybe we weren't always right. And two wrongs don't make a right. And this is how you can fix it. But you have to want to fix it in order for it to work. If there is one thing that I've learned, not only in books, not only in movies, but in real life, you can mess things up 5 ways from Sunday. But if you say, I'm sorry, and mean it, you can work with that and work to a understanding where things can actually work out. I would love to be like in that See You Tonight video by Scotty McCreery where she's sitting on the couch reading her book and he just pulls up in the truck and they, have that wonderful ending and to a storybook, if you will, in that 3 or 4 minutes of that song. And that's wonderful. I would love to be in any music video where it just magically works out that way. But life doesn't always work out that way. Sad but true, right? Because there's that old Alan Jackson song, Here in the Real World. Yeah, we all wish things were different. And wishing and hoping don't always make dreams come true. Moving on. When do you think the country should reopen? Ooh, what a loaded question. As a woman with a pre-existing condition, not one but two, as a woman who did not vote for our president in 2016, will not vote for him in 2020, I would say this. My first concern is safety. My second is well-being. My third is we already know that a second wave of this virus will come back in the fall. We don't have a vaccine. Why are we putting people at risk when we do not have a vaccine? Why are we urging people to revolt, if you will, against their government when the head of that government who shut us down to begin with, it wasn't all these 50 governors that decided shut down on one day, okay? It was the president that decided that. So where is his leadership? That's my question. Why is he not capable of not only handing down guidelines, but being able to say, you know what? I did this. I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to work with all 50 governors, not just say, wash my hands, it's up to you. No. Your job, you are the head chief in charge, the CEO, if you will, of this country. And what that means, it's your job to get us back on track. You took us off your wonderful, beautiful economy track. You put us back on it. That is what I say. You can talk down to all the press and call it fake news, but honestly, the real news is you have a job, you're not doing it. You want other people to do your job, and then you want to take credit for it. That's what I don't like. You can pat yourself on the back, give yourself lots of tooting your own horn, if you will, and that's all fine and dandy. But think of everyone who has lost their life to this virus. Think of everyone that you put at risk by reopening the country too soon that we may have to plan another funeral for, thanks to your leadership, or lack of, should I say. I have a very passionate heart about some things, and it's amazing to me because I can speak so wonderfully when I get fired up. But on some things, I'm so scared to get fired up. And in this book that I'm about to share this book review with you on, which is going to take us a long time, we might have to break it down into 2-night book review. That's how long I'm saying this book review is going to be. I hope that I nail home that kind of love can exist, but you have to really work for it. In a relationship, it is so easy to walk away at the first sign of trouble. It is so easy to throw in the towel and go, it ain't worth it. But it's a lot more commendable, a lot more, you know what? She's worth it. He's worth it. In the book, you'll find that with that book review. And I hope in real life, for all of you out there, you find that match to your mate. Like your missing sock finds the other sock, if you will. But more importantly, don't give up. Don't quit. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And not only do I apply that to romance, but I apply that to our state of mind right now. I hope that you don't revolt against your governors, okay? They're looking out for your best interest, your family's best interest, your best friend, your coworker, your neighbor, everybody. They're having to do the work that the president can't do. So please, be kind to them, support them. And more importantly, they say that this check's coming from President Trump. I don't believe it's coming from President Trump. It's coming from a collective government working together as a united government. United we stand, divided we fall. And I think that's something that our forefathers would say right now. They would be so disappointed in saying, oh, do this, do this, do this. No. The buck stops here. You'll work together as a collective unit to make a unit work. It's like a spoke in a wheel. To get that wheel to go round, you gotta oil it, but yet you gotta give it some motivation, some leadership to know its job. And I honestly think that's what Trump needs to do. We already seen, first he thought he was going to be the one to do the work and reopen the country, then he took it back. He's famous for saying something and then taking it back, okay? But what I'm telling you to do, don't revolt. Don't say, okay, you know what, open the country right now. Because there's not a one of us that, wants to think negatively. We want to think positively. We want to be optimistic at this time. But put yourself in the place of someone that had to go to a funeral, somebody famous. Take, for instance, the first one that pops in my mind, Joe Diffie. Now, if you're a fan of his, I really pray that you're not revolting right now. I pray that you're taking this into heart. That you are going, you know what? Let's not reopen this country until we have testing. Let's not open this country till we have a vaccination. Let's not put our children at risk until we know for sure where we're headed with COVID-19. With that, I'm going to leave this video alone, and we're going to go right to the book review, because I could go on and on and on about the COVID-19. Just saying. I don't want us to be panic-ridden, yet I want us to be educated. I want us to have facts over fear. I want us to be like, okay, you know what? This is a good time to reopen the country. Think about your stars that are not touring right now. Justin Bieber is not touring, okay? Taylor Swift today says she's not touring. And you got places that have shut down already. The Decatur celebration. The 4th of July fireworks at Champaign. The Macon County Fair. Just to name a few that have said, no big crowds until this is done. Maybe we should look at that before you start thinking, oh, we need to put the country back to work. The more you get into a crowded situation, the more you're putting people and everyone at risk. Remember that. With that said, it's time for part 1 of probably part 4 book review. We'll see how it goes. Stay tuned.